wheels in the open road. I got the throttle wide open, feel my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me and the open road, riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane, it's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, well, live free or die is the only way. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Never look back, never look back. 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 White lines and gasoline. White lines and gasoline. Two wheels in the open road, life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice, I am my own man. I never look behind through all that I have seen. 'Cause all I need is white lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, it's amazing America. Yeah. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can. We're Americans. From the snowy passes to the desert sun, dogs and the horses and the trucks and the guns, mothers and daughters and fathers and sons, we're Americans. We make up America, it's amazing America. Yeah, home of the brave in America. We're an amazing America. for a team's a bunch of badasses, if you know what I mean. They're coming out of the sky, out of the sea, and on land, gonna take it to the enemy. Lock it low, boys. Time to explode, boys. Just make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleets, the pipe swinging forward, man. You're the UDT. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Ooh yeah, this is the big boys club. Nobody does it quite the way a SEAL team does. Clean in, clean out. The boys are the best, and they'll be coming for your shells in the deck. So if you see a fallen man coming with guns, you better reconsider whose side you're on. These boys are ghosts, team of the Reaper, and they'll be more than happy to deliver you back to your maker. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Because the only easy day was yesterday. Come on! They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. We're for the USA.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Let me talk to these guys real quick. Go ahead.
Welcome live here on All Pro Broadcasting to Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, plays host to the last race before the chase here for the Domino's 2IJ Top Shelf Cup Series. Good evening, race fans. I'm Gabriel Wood. Alongside me tonight, Robert McFarland, and a new face in the broadcast booth, James Ross, driver of the 51 in the Truck Series, currently your leader going into the Truck Series points into the chase for 2017. James, you know what it's like to try and make it into the chase, but you did it pretty early with a bunch of wins. How do some of these drivers like Jeremy Crandall, Kyle Kamer, I believe, some of these guys that have to finish in a certain spot to end up making it into the 2017 chase?
Well, I tell you tonight, I mean, for some of these guys, what's going to be all about is taking that big risk on track position. It's a one-lane racetrack here, more or less. Very difficult to pass unless you're on the high side. So look for these guys to take a chance, take a shot at some pit strategy, or maybe staying out where others come in for fresh tires to try and take advantage of that.
All right, while we are in the early stages of qualifying here, I want to go over who is locked in. David Washington has 5 wins. He's locked in. If you get a win, you're locked in. And we also have about 6 drivers actually, locked in on points. William Roberts Jr. in second with 2 wins. Tanner Taurico with a win. Ryan Hill, Curtis Young, Kyle Kamer, Jason Jacoby, who has not run in a while, so we're having to wait and see if he can actually make it and race in the chase. Dylan Jones with a win, and then these drivers, Brandon Cruz Monsivice, Jack Watts, Gary Sexton, Nick Reynolds, Buzz Moore, and Josh Bonwell have not won, but are clinched into the 2017 chase by points. Now the drivers on back. James, you raced with a few of these guys. Who do you think you can make it? Jesse Abraham needs to finish 14th. Jeremy Crandall needs to finish 10th. Ryan Matthews needs to finish ahead of all the bubble guys below him, 0 to the 11, the 24, the 15, the 3. There's a lot of different scenarios we're going to have to go over tonight.
Well, and the one scenario you haven't mentioned is the racetrack itself. As you know, and you race here too, this is a self-cleaning racetrack, so very easy to have plans to run to the front and get taken out in somebody else's mess. So I mean, lots and lots of variables here tonight. I mean, out of all of them, I'm looking to. I think I'm going to see Ryan Matthews try and make a good run up through this field. He's been hot lately, and I think he'll be in good shape.
And we've seen some speed from a few of these guys, like Ryan Matthews, but there's also the kicker. Can you win? If you're inside the top 30 in points, anybody in that span of points can win the race and lock themselves in. Drivers like Mitchell Reeves, William Davis, Eric Stanford, Jeff Martin, they all have speed, but they haven't won this year. I think it's going to be one of those things where we may just see somebody come out of the woodwork and score a win. And Mitchell Reeves is almost on the track to do that because he's qualified second at the moment with a 14.418, but Ashton Crowder is on the pole at the moment with a 14.37 flat.
Yeah, I heard one. Sorry about that, James. I heard from Mitchell last night in the broadcast late. He said that he was 1 or 2 points to the good in the top 20 without a win. So he absolutely either wants to get a win tonight or have a great run. And here at Bristol, anything can happen. So I wish him a lot of luck.
Now you may be noticing a few different logos around Bristol Motor Speedway. iRacing has updated. You no longer see Sprint around the Speedway. You got Monster Energy Victory Lane. The Monster Energy Cup Series has now taken over on iRace here, at least the NASCAR side of things. And with the new build comes a new setup. Comes a new way the Cup Series and Nationwide Series and, Xfinity cars and Truck Series cars drive. And apparently it's a pretty difficult thing to get around here, Bristol, with a fast lap time. David Washington does it pretty well here in the final few minutes of qualifying, James. I know you raced in the Truck Series last night. What did you think of the new build?
It was hard for me to judge the new build last night. Gabe, you and I got taken out pretty much the same thing about 8 laps into the race. So we struggled with it. The sounds now are awesome. Tires sound like tires. The sounds of the marbles coming up underneath the truck when you get up in the marbles are just awesome. Driving wise, I think we're gonna have to wait till next Wednesday for me to really feel it out.
All right, and I want to remind you, we did not mention this. This is the Hex Camp 200. Hide where you are, not who you are. The Hex Camp 200 official sponsor of tonight's race here at Bristol. 30 seconds left here qualifying. David Washington at Aegis 4 Fusion still on the pole. Robert, I want to talk to you. Your adminning duties here a lot more tonight, and you might need it because Bristol is a race of attrition. How strict are you going to be, to drivers who maybe can't get a hold of the racetrack?
I tell you what, this is going to be a very exciting race. Gabe and James, thank you both for being here in the booth. Obviously, thanks to Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting. Real quick, Gabe, fans, make sure you click that subscribe button. We are doing the free pizza giveaway. I'll give you all the details in just a minute. To answer your question, we're going to have to wait and see. Bristol is the last great Coliseum. There will be some serious trade in paint. This is not the trucks, but there will be some dented fenders. And hopefully these guys, if they make contact, it's incidental. And I wish the fastest, cleanest driver with the most luck. I think tonight the catchphrase is going to be who's got the luck to stay out of the big ones, to have a good car at the end of the race. So we'll have to see what happens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying is over with, and we're going to run through your field of, looks like 26 drivers have come to race in tonight's race. David Washington qualifies on the pole with a 14.342. Ashton Crowder with a 14.370 is going to start to the outside of him. Mitchell Reeves, talked about him in the pre-race just a second ago. He has got to win this race, or at least try and point his way into the chase. starting in that third spot. Colton Sillick in fourth. Josh Bonwell in the fifth spot. Gary Sexton in sixth. Tanner Talrico in seventh. Curtis Young in eighth. William Roberts Jr. in ninth. And Ryan Hill rounds out your top 10.
We have Brandon Cruz Monteveas in the 54 will be starting 11th. Nick Reynolds in the 10 will be starting 12th. William E. Moore in the 58 is starting 13th, followed by Eric Stanford in the 24. The 93 of Andrew W. Payne will be starting 15th. He's followed by Jason Cardwell to his outside in 16th in the number 18 car. Jack Watts in the 66 will be starting, I got a little ahead of myself. He's starting 17th. Cardwell's at 16th. Buzz Moore in the 11 is starting 18th. Kyle Kammer in the 88 is starting 19th. And Mark Jackson is starting 20th in that infamous number 3.
Outside the top 20, these are drivers 18th through 26th, did not take a time in qualifying, so they will start at the rear of the field. George Hendricks in 21st. Gerald Campbell, who was your fastest driver in practice, actually practiced at enough of a time to get him up into the top 3. So a little bit of questionable decision why he chooses to start here in the back of the field, but that 25 machine will start in 22nd. William Davis, who also has to point his way in or get a win to get in the chase, starts at 23rd. Jeff T. Martin to the outside of him in the same situation. Robert McFarland, technically he is on the grid, but it looks like Robert just filed an entry fee to get some laps on the speedway. I hear he's anticipating Robert racing a little bit more next year. And
Yes,
Jeremy
sir.
Jeremy Crandall rounds out your field.
Yes, sir. I just ran some laps, so I would have a good feel for what these guys are dealing with. And I can tell you this from the seat of my pants. This is Bristol. This is fast. You got some grip for about 10 laps, and then it starts going away, and it will snap around on you coming off of turn 4 before you know what's happening. Of course, these are great drivers. Hopefully those guys can manage that very well.
James, final thought before we
If I was behind the wheel right now, I'd be thinking, keep it off the wall, keep it off the wall, keep it off the wall. The high line's the way around here, but it doesn't do you much good if you get up a little too high, wind up damaging the car. Protect the equipment, keep it off the wall, be there to race for the win at the end.
Going to be one heck of a fight between those Aegis Motorsports drivers and the drivers from the Drill Spill. A lot of participation from those two teams. Well, we're here at Bristol, ladies and gentlemen. Look around. You are not leaving this place without being the winner. Only the driver who finished first prevails here at the last great Coliseum. You're surrounded by fans. You're surrounded by danger. It's going to be one heck of a race for us up here in the booth. And for you at home here on All Pro Broadcasting, David Washington takes off from the pole and leads him down into turn number 1.
Yeah, Dave jumps out to about a 3 or 4 car length lead here. They're all getting singled out behind them. These guys know it's a long race. No reason to throw it away here early. And first 2 back is probably about 10, 11 cars back in the field.
Heck of a start for David Washington. He pulls off to a great lead. Ashton Crowder in second. Mitchell Reeves maintains third. And it's also going to be Colton Selleck maintaining that 4th spot. 5th is going to be Josh Bonwell. He is the actual first driver under fire there in the number 17 from Gary Sexton. That IRAPS machine on the back bumper of that Armor All number 56. Can he get it done here in the early going? Get himself into the top 5. Mostly single file. I'm looking. He looks like Brandon Monsivice in that number 54 machine. He's trying to get that inside lane working, but it's not going to happen. He's going to end up sliding back from his 11th starting spot to now 14th here on lap number 4.
Yeah, I'm definitely noticing these guys have definitely figured out this is going to be a long race, Gabe and James, and so they might come up and just barely touch the wall for the fastest laps, but they definitely are playing it cool, playing it smart, and keeping it out of the fence so far, so good.
All 26 drivers getting around Bristol Motor Speedway okay. Looks like actually Ashton Crowder catching David Washington bit by bit every lap. The gap was 3/10 of a second last time by almost 4/10. Let's see what it's going to be when they cross the start finish line. It's going to be 3.8. Actually, gap is increasing, but I mean that gap, James, it's getting smaller. I don't know what Ashton's losing in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, well, I'm looking here. It looks like David Washington has moved down to the middle of the racetrack, going through 3 and 4 in particular. And now you see Ashton with 27 is doing the same thing as well, trying to learn off the car in front of him.
He's definitely faster through turns 1 and 2 is what I'm seeing, but David is just so good coming off of turn number 4. And that's the one thing you have to realize about Bristol. I mean, it's an oval, But I mean, when you look at the track map, it almost looks symmetrical, but there's just a little bit more tightness. Turns 3 and 4. And that's one thing that happens here in Bristol. You kind of tighten up coming off of 4, you end up hitting that wall. Haven't seen anybody do it too hard at this point in the race, and now everybody's migrating to the bottom, still single file, looking for any battles. That's going to be the one thing. Look at the chrome horns on these drivers. They're going to be battling hard, trying to get the position on somebody. Still single file, and look at trying to find any battles through the field. Gerald Campbell has actually fallen back from his 22nd starting position. So how the mighty have fallen for Gerald Campbell, who was first in practice, that 25 machine, now running in the final position. Jeff T. Martin did not take the green flag.
Yeah, I'm looking here about your first real battle back in the field right now. Right now it's Curtis Martin and Tanner Tallarico. Not Curtis Martin, I'm sorry. Curtis Young and Tanner Tallarico have been going at it pretty hard here about 3 or 4 laps. Looks like Curtis Young will take the advantage here, and they get singled out again.
Oh! Tanner Tallarico puts the bumper to Curtis Young through turn 4, and coming off of turn number 4, Curtis Young to the inside wall. No caution so far, but heavy contact between the 42. Replay coming up now. Caution is out on the speedway, but Curtis Young taken out in the early going by an aggressive move from Tanner Tallarico.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate situation. I mean, I think that's just a matter of drivers having different braking points, and unfortunately Curtis wound up on the short end of the stick there. But he seems to have lost a lap here. He's going in. Not a lot of damage on the car. I'm sure they'll get the little bit of damage on the front end banged out and get him back out there. Plenty of caution, so plenty of opportunities to make that lap back here today at Bristol.
Yeah, he did hit pretty square. The problem was he hit square pretty hard, so I'm going to have to watch for some cooling issues on the number 94 machine. As they come down to pit road, looks like David Washington is going to lead down the lead lap drivers. See if anybody's going to risk taking 2 here. As they come to the attention of their pit crews, everybody comes into their stall. Stops on a dime, looking like no mistakes here on entry for everybody inside the top 10. Left side or right sides go up. Let's see if the left side's going to go up here. And it will. So, and one thing, the drivers who are pitted on the back straightaway kind of at a disadvantage. It looks like 2 tires maybe for the 7 and the 73. So, a little bit of strategy being called here, James.
Yeah, I was watching that. They're obviously looking for some track positions. Jeremy Crandall was stopped on the racetrack now. That's an interesting development.
Actually, I think Jeremy Crandall may have sped coming off the pit road, trying to get the best position that he could. And the iRacing looks like he was actually 33 miles an hour by the time he exited pit road, so they may have called him for that. I know usually it gives you about a 5 mile per hour buffer zone, but it looks like he may have been caught by the iRacing officials.
Oh, and just like in the real thing here, I mean, this is done by the timing lines, just like they do it in the real deal. And yeah, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to lose a lap here.
Looks like, as we're right here under caution, we've already got 1 pick in. Josh Bonlow has taken for the Domino's free pizza giveaway that we give out every race here at the Domino's TYJ Top Shelf Cup Series, Premier Xfinity Series, and the Dip Defenders Truck Series. So, looks like Josh Bonwell's mother already picking the number 56 machine, so hopefully he can get it done here. I talked to him in the garage area before the race, and he said he had a good shot at winning tonight's race. He's riding in the 4th spot, so hopefully he can get that outside lane moving. But everybody was kind of moving to the bottom, Robert. Robert, I want to talk to you about did Tanner Tallarico kind of apologize for that wreck, or what happened?
Yeah, he just barely got into the back of the 94. Like you just said, James mentioned it. The braking points here, they are so different, although they're so similar. So you think you're like right on the back bumper of somebody and you're not going to touch them, and at the last second, you do touch them. And these cars with the 850 horsepower on this slick track after 13 laps, these tires are giving up a little bit. You're on the edge of control every single corner, and that's all it takes. Sometimes you don't even have to touch somebody to get them loose, but Tanner definitely got in the back of them, unfortunately.
All right, lights are off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. So this time by, we will be going green flag racing. Lap number 20. We're already closing in on a 1/4 distance in tonight's race, 30 laps away from that point. Updated running order: David Washington, Ashton Crowder, Mitchell Reeves, Josh Bonwell, Gary Sexton. Your top 5: Colton Selleck, Ryan Hill, Nick Reynolds, William E. Moore, and Andrew Payne. Round out your top 10. Here they come to the green flag. David Washington takes off again. A little bit better restart for Ashton Crowder in the number 27 machine, but still not going to get him the lead as they come off of turn number 2. Crowder, a little bit better run, so we may be able to see a run for the lead here, but Bonwell running the extreme outside lane, the number 56 machine, trying to get around Mitchell Reeves for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, looking back further, I see Colton Selleck actually making the low line work. He's pulling off a pass on Nick Reynolds now and looking forward to take away 5th from Gary Sexton.
He actually restarted in the 5th spot, I believe. Oh, and the 10 car of Reynolds into the wall. He gets spun. Selleck came up the racetrack and into the number 10 machine. Getting the replay up for you, and then spun off the number 93 machine of Andrew Payne in turn number 2. It looks like a single car incident, but we're going to have to look and see if anybody was caught up in that. Oh, a bunch of drivers in the back. He was backwards down the racetrack, started with the 18, then the 7. Got caught up in it. That was William Davis, who was looking to try and get into the chase. So unfortunate end of the night for the number 7 machine. Then the 12, the William Roberts Jr., Kyle Kamer also, and looks like Tanner Talrico almost got caught up in that, James. So the EOL penalty he got for causing that last caution almost ended his night.
Yeah, well, Tanner Talrico was involved in that. I'm watching him now, and he's sitting here behind David Washington. I do believe he lost a lap. If he didn't make any contact there,
well,
he was a lucky dog.
Yeah, it looks like he had to stop on the racetrack just to not get into the pileup. So by the time Ludius came back around, looks like he had fired, but was also a lap down. Looks like the 73 actually getting his lap back.
Yeah, this is a busy place for a small track. It's difficult to see it all at once. Lots going on in lots of different places. But Tanner's currently, I believe, he's our point leader, isn't he?
I do believe Tanner Talrico is your points leader. I'm gonna have to try and find the points again.
Yeah, I've got him here actually. Yeah, he's the leader right now by 8 points. Of course, this all gets reset once we go into the chase with race wins come into effect. But right now, he is our current point leader, Tanner Talrico in the 42.
Yep, got locked in at Atlanta with the comeback victory at Atlanta. Got him, and I believe that was the 2nd or 3rd race of the year, all the way back in I believe either March or February. But Tanner has just been pointing it up. I mean, David Washington with 5 wins, but is 8 points behind. That is one heck of a drive for Tanner Talrico. He's got 13 top 10s, so it hasn't been, he's been top 5ing everybody to death. He's got the same amount of top 5s. It's just he hasn't had as many bad races. He has 0 DNFs. That's 2 races David Washington did not finish, so he did not get the finish that he deserved, because we know David Washington's been up front every race he's been involved in here in Domino's. So Tanner's just been doing a great job, and that might pay off in the chase.
Oh, absolutely. It comes down to the chase. It's all about consistency. And, he's shown he can do it. He's brought the thing home every week. I mean, 13 top 10s and 17 starts is quite a record. So he's definitely somebody to watch once the chase begins here in a couple of weeks.
Some words being exchanged between, looks like the Drill Spill and Southeast Motorsports. So looks like not happy about that incident between the 99 of Colton Selleck and Nick Reynolds in the 10 machine.
Yeah, I want to remind all the fans who are watching, thanks for watching. This is the Domino's TYJ Racing Top Shelf Series, live on All Pro Broadcasting. This is the Hexcam 200, and we are giving away a free pizza tonight. Real quick before I go back green, all you have to do, fans, to win that free pizza is text 919-883-7497. Or if you're watching on your device, say, I choose this driver to win. The first person to accurately predict the winner of this race before halfway, which will be lap 100, will win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry-out only. Thanks for watching, fans.
Pace car coming to pit road this time by. Looks like nobody claimed the caution on that, so the 99 gets to keep his starting spot here for the restart. David Washington takes off from the lead. Looks like Ashton Crowder actually led him to the line last time by, but he was shown as leader by David Washington. Back where he belongs. Looks like a little bit of contact between the 99 and the 17 as Colton Selleck tries to work his way back up through the field. But the 17 of Gary Sexton does give that position back. Ryan Hill, the number 55 machine, he moves to the top side. Looks like the 11 Buzz Moore trying to make that bottom work, but it's just not happening for that Budweiser machine. He's going to also fall back, so it looks like passing not exactly at a premium here at Bristol.
Oh, absolutely. What these guys really need to do now is just get singled out here. I mean, nobody's going to win the race on lap 31 and 200, so these guys need to get singled out, get into their rhythm, start logging laps here, and then, take care of your stuff so you can be there when it matters most.
It's like a little battle for position between William E. Moore in the 58 machine and Brandon Cruz Monsalveas in the number 54 machine. Looks like William E. Moore in that Air Force machine trying to take that spot. He's going to get the run coming off of turn number 4 and move up into that 11th spot. Looks like Buzz Moore just ahead of him in the 11th machine, trying to go after Eric Stanford in that 24, but not going to happen. So Buzz Moore actually going to fall in behind him. That's the frustrating thing. You know you're faster than somebody. I mean, you look up through here. Looks like we got a little battle for position. Actually, we may have a battle for the lead brewing here in the next few laps, James, because the 27 is caught David Washington.
Yes, I've been watching. He's been changing his lineup. He's still taking like the high side, but bringing it down, coming off at 2 and 1 and 2.
He's getting a run.
Seems to be getting a great run down the backstretch.
He's turning it down the racetrack, arcing in early. He's trying to come straight off the corner, almost like trying to drive at a dirt track. It looks like Ashton Crowder is actually pulling it off for that drill spill number 27 machine. So the Aegis drill spill feud still going on. They've pretty much won every race they could this year. The majority of the drivers are involved with the teams. David Washington's been flying the flag for the Aegis team. Crowder is doing it for the drill spill.
Yeah, that's a rivalry that goes back a long way, and it doesn't look to be ending anytime soon as we look at these two guys battling up in the front of the field. So it's a healthy rivalry, but it's a rivalry at that.
We have turn number 4, still fighting. Down to the back bumper is Ashton Crowder here on lap number 39. Can he get the lead here? Washington moves to the top. He's trying to get that momentum coming off the top of the corner in turn number 2. And also, James, I would like to mention that iRacing has fixed their dynamic tracks. There was a problem in the system to where if you had a qualifying session with the race, it was only counting your single car for the rubber getting on the racetrack. So that's the one thing we're going to have to look for is the track changing, the heat build up, where these guys got to run. And that's what I think we may be seeing. The top line kind of went away, then the bottom was kind of dominant. Now we're seeing that arcing lane through the middle start to come in.
Yeah, it's all pretty interesting here. It looks like David Washington might have just touched the wall on the front stretch. Just a little kiss as now Ashton Crowder's got a nose in him coming off at 2.
To the fender goes Ashton Crowder. Can he get it done here in the next few laps? Just cannot get that run coming off the bottom. I think he's just going to have to luck up and get one heck of a run coming off the corner like he's been doing and try and get side by side and beat David Washington into the corner. Not a lot of room, and this is almost kind of like a road course. You kind of have to get into a rhythm with how you're getting off, coming back on. I mean, you get braked. I mean, it's a balancing act, James, and you know it because you raced with David Washington. You know how competitive he is. He's the best at it. He's one of the best at just keeping a consistent line. He doesn't like playing strategy. He just likes flat out beating you. And he's one of the best at it.
Well, I tell you, and Dave might be playing a little bit of possum here and conserving his stuff and forcing Ashton to run his car harder than he might actually like to at this point in the race. We'll see how that plays out as the run goes on.
Here comes Ashton Crowder. He got the run to the inside. Can he make it stick there on the bottom? Robert, I want to bring you in here for just a second. What are you seeing from these drivers? This is about the only battle we've seen on the racetrack. It's been clean and green for about 10, 15 laps now. It's been kind of tame for a Bristol race.
Yes, it has, and I'm looking at one other battle right here for the 4th position between the 56 and Josh Bonwell. Like you said, he's in that Arborough. It looks like right behind him, a couple spots, sorry. 99 to Colton Salick, just kind of around the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. But I was going back up to Josh Bonwell. He's getting all kind of heat from the 17 of Gary Sexton. And now it looks like all these guys are running up to the top groove. So it looks like the 17 is not able to get around Josh Bonwell, but behind him, Colton Salick, who was involved earlier, is having a good clean run so far. And Ryan A. Hill is back in the 7th position. He is always a factor in these races. He knows how to conserve his equipment. Looks like he qualified 10th. He's made up 3 spots to 7th. So I tell you what, I'm keeping an eye on these guys who know how to take care of their stuff. And obviously the 55 Run Hills and that Hillco Phantom Ornament, number 55, he's got at least one win. He's looking low right now on the 99. So some of these guys are going to try the low line, but as you know, Gabe, as you know, James, it's going to be hard to make that pass unless you're right in the middle of the track.
Going to keep watching this battle here between the 55 and the 99 there on the bottom, because up front it's the same story. Ashton Crowder just cannot get that run on the bottom. We're seeing the 55 of Ryan Hill. He's actually making it work. He's pulling even with Colton Selleck in the number 99, that green machine up there on the top. They're racing side by side. He gets a little bit tight. They're coming off the exit of the corner. He has to let off the gas and fall back in behind. Up in front of them still, all single file between Sexton, Bonwell, and Mitchell Reeves there in that third spot. Then it's a long way up. The two leaders have checked out. They've been racing side by side for almost this entire green flag run, and they have pulled out a huge gap here, about 2 seconds. They're in just a few laps here at Bristol, and Bristol, it's a 16 or 14 second lap, so even half a tenth is a huge lead.
Oh, absolutely. And these two guys right now are clearly the class of the field as they continue to race side by side. They're going to be coming up on Brandon Cruz Monteveas and some lap traffic here soon. So if nothing else, if you can't force a mistake, then maybe you can use lap traffic as a pick to get the job done.
Yeah, he might be able to get on the radio there and tell Brandon, hey, if you could, just kind of run the outside lane for just a lap or so.
So I'm wondering right now, guys, obviously we know Dave Washington is in the chase with all of his wins. Ashton Crowder, same deal. What are some of these under drivers on the bubble? I'm looking right now, Mitchell Reeves in the third position, that 02 car. He definitely has got to have a great finish, like I mentioned earlier in the race. He is driving that Southeast Motorsports, beautiful paint job, Chevy SS. What are some other drivers you're seeing, Gabe and James, that are on the brink of not making the chase? If they don't make it in with a win, they're back in the field.
Well, you talk about Mitchell Reeves. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. By the predictions, he's got 362 points. He can clinch, finishing ahead of the 51 and all the bubble 51 of Ryan Matthews and all the bubble guys below him, the 11, the 24, the 15, and the 3. He's doing that by running in third. He's doing that because he's got two drivers who are already in the chase in front of him. So he's doing a great job doing what he needs to do. I mean, you look at Jeremy Crandall, he's got to pick it up there. Looks like he is off the lead lap to try to find him. 73 machine. No, he's actually running 13. So he's getting close to where he needs to be, but still not there. Jesse Abraham, I don't think he's even in tonight's race, so unfortunately he's going to miss the 2017 chase.
Yeah, looking at that, I mean, we've got another. I'm not quite sure where Andrew Payne sits in the standings. I don't think he's run all the races here, but he's another one that might be at that bubble. He's having a great run up in 7th position right now, up from 15th starting position.
Andrew Payne has run 6 races, finished in the top 5 once, finished in the top 10 3 times, but he's only run 6 races, so he's 37 in points. So unfortunately, he's not eligible to even make it in the chase for 2017, but still a good run for him. And drivers like the 7 of William Davis, I mean, they're not going to make it. The 14 or the 014 of Jeff T. Martin, who is in 23 laps down. So unfortunately, he is not going to make it. Caution is out on the speedway, and Ashton Crowder, while we were talking about it, he got the lead.
He did, actually. I was just waiting for you to finish your thought there, where he'd gotten a nose on David Washington.
Caution is out for the 58 of William Davis. Looks like he lost it coming off the exit of turn number 4. Looks like he kissed the outside wall. Almost clipped the number 18 machine as he went by. That's Jason Cardwell. Racing Jason Cardwell in the number 18 machine, but did not hit him, and it's only a single car incident here on lap number 65. So a quarter of the way through tonight's event as cars come to pit road. But yeah, didn't even notice Crowder. He finally got the run, worked it long enough to where he was able to get the lead.
Yeah, that was a great battle and a clean battle between the two of them. Taking a look here, it looks like everyone's pretty much taking 4 tires here. A couple of cars down a lap or so are are taking their best shot at getting a lap back here, maybe playing some track position. But we'll see how this all shakes out, and if we had anyone stay out here and try and lead a lap or two under caution here.
Crowder gets it off pit road pretty clean, so he's going to be in the lead for the restart. Here looks like Jeff T. Martin trying to get one of his laps back, so he will be the only recipient of the wave around. So a single car incident puts us here under caution for the HexCam 200. HexCam is a camo apparel company developed around the honeycomb hex that occurs naturally in nature, macro, and micro patterns, built in to accommodate for distance variance, multiple textures, and 256 colors for maximum shading and lighting variations. Go to Warcry Apparel on myshopify.com, Shopify.com, I should say, to check them out. Full store, patches, and a lot more coming soon. It's HexCam, official sponsor of the HexCam 200 here at Bristol, here on All Pro Broadcasting. I'm Gabriel Wood alongside James Ross, and Robert McFarlane checks in with us a few times. He's doing admin duties, so a little bit of a relief, James, having you up here in the booth. I'm enjoying you. I mean, I've had a couple of guys up here, Ray Richer, Joe Johnson, done a good job, and got another one here in James Ross.
That's awfully nice of you, Gabe.
That's all you got to say? I compliment you. That's all you got.
Well, Gabe and I have been competitors for a long time on the track, and we've had our moments both up and down. But a lot of respect here for the most part, and yeah, that's about the nicest thing Gabe has ever said about me. So I'll take that one and make sure I save that soundbite.
Yeah, if you follow the truck series, James is usually the one that comes out on top. I usually get wrecked or finish second. So, but I'm never forgiving you for wrecking me in Bristol like 2 years ago. I'm still salty about that one.
Was it Bristol? Or
it was Dover. It was Dover.
Taking a look as we're getting doubled up here.
No, don't throw away that.
We'll go through the running order right now. Ashton Crowder in first, David Washington in second, Mitchell Reeves in third, Josh Bonwell in fourth, Ryan Hill in fifth, Gary Sexton in sixth, Eric Stanford in seventh, and looks like we're coming to green this time around.
Coming to green flag, pace car pulls off Ashton Crowder for the first time tonight. We've got a lead change there for the restart here on lap number 71. Ashton Crowder takes the lead, takes off by a huge margin. Now that David Washington is in the second spot, James, you know him better than pretty much anybody in the field, maybe except Andrew Kessler, but he's not racing. But he's going to save his stuff, isn't he? He's going to save and make a run at it, because it's been consistently green flag running here in Bristol so far. So he's going to save his stuff, and as I say that, he's actually closing in. So forget what I said. I don't know anything.
Well, if I know Dave well enough, the first few laps here, he's going to try and put some pressure on Ashton, see if he can't force him into a mistake, maybe touching the wall, damaging his car, as it looks like he's trying to put his nose under him, coming off of turn number 4.
Trying to pull the same move that Ashton pulled on him. Got a little bit close there in turn number 2. Caution is out. Gonna have to wait and look and see who was the cause of tonight, or this next caution. Looks like Jeremy Crandall, so one of your bubble drivers spins it in turn number 1. Oh, the same thing that happened on the last caution. William E. Moore spun it coming off of turn number 4. Jeremy Crandall did it as well.
Yeah, that looks like the classic case of just a little bit too much throttle, too early leaving the corner and chasing it all the way down the front straightaway. What a shame for Jeremy. He was having a good run there.
Well, it's a run under caution here yet again at Bristol. Working caution number 4, I do believe, here in the HexCam 200. We'll be right back here on All Pro Broadcast. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back for the halfway point in tonight's race. We'll be right back here on All Pro Broadcast.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driving the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Back here live in Bristol, shooting the one to go this time by in the Hex Cam 200 here on All Pro Broadcasting. The Domino's TYJ Top Shelf Cup Series, closing in on the halfway point, closing in on the cutoff to get your picks in for the free pizza giveaway. Remember, you pick a driver who you think will win tonight's event, and you pick them there in the comments section of the broadcast. And you got to make that pick by halfway. You can also text Robert's number. I don't have it with me at the moment. But we've been doing this long enough. A few people should be able to help you out here in the next few laps. Robert, while we're sitting here, what's the phone number for the free pizza giveaway?
Yes, sir. 919-883-7497. Or if you're watching on your device, make sure you click or say, I choose this driver for the free pizza giveaway. The first fan who actually predicts the winner of the race will win a free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry out only. You do have to go to your store, but this is good for all Domino's stores in the United States of America, which is a whole bunch of them.
Got the one to go signal this time by, so we're going to go back. Green flag racing. Been going by pretty quickly for a Bristol race. Usually we're here for a little while, but we're not even 30 minutes in. We're closing in on the halfway point, so going by quickly, but time running out for David Washington to try and get back the lead, and time running out for a lot of these guys to even try and make a run at it. Asher Crowder goes off into the lead. David Washington going to try and take it again. Mitchell Reeves in the third spot still, but Josh Bondwell actually losing that fourth position maybe, because Ryan Hill's got a good run there on the bottom. What's going to happen here between the 55? Hill gets loose coming off the 4, and Bondwell's going to move back up into that that fifth spot, or fourth spot.
Just watching here, one guy to watch here running a real smart race is Mitchell Reeves in that 02 car. He's been sitting in third the entire race, watching these two guys in front of him. I wonder if he's got a little more under his hat than he's shown so far.
But that's all he has to do to get into the chase, finish in front of the bubble drivers and just point his way in. Look at a little battle here between Andrew Payne, the number 93 machine, and the 99, Colton Selleck. Looks like it's died out just a little bit there. That's how battles happen here at Bristol. You just kind of have to take your shot. You can't really race side by side consistently here. You just kind of, if you get a run, you got to take a shot. Try and get in front of them. And we see Colton, he almost tried to get it in there. He's not going to actually get the pass completed. He actually pulls side by side with him by the start-finish line. That's going to allow the 17 and the 11 of Buzz Moore and Gary Sexton, in the opposite order of that 17 of Gary Sexton and the 11 of Buzz Moore, to actually close in just a little bit. And Eric Stanford, who's also trying to point his way into the chase, is also, or excuse me, is he? No, he's actually locked into, Stanford actually, I believe, is locked into the 2017 chase. But Crowder and David Washington going at it again, James.
Yeah, and it's to be more of the same. We just mentioned, it's difficult to run side by side here, lap after lap. I think that's the case unless your names are Ashton and David, because they seem to be trying to get side by side every chance they possibly can here around this small oval.
Well, they're pretty much the class of the field, so they've already pulled out to an 10th of a second lead, which is, a huge gap here. Just look at the gap they pulled out on Mitchell Reeves, so they kind of got the freedom to race. And if it's not working out, they can try single file, pull away just a little bit, and try it again.
One thing you got to keep in mind, guys, if we do have a long green flag run, which is very likely, who is going to be able to manage their tires? I only ran about 45, 50 laps earlier in the happy hour practice, and these tires do give up after 10 laps. So this could be strategy. The 02 you mentioned, Mitchell Reeves, he's back there in third position, and these cars are going to start getting loose any minute now, and the most talented driver, that is who is going to win this race if he can take care of his tires.
And as you mentioned, that something to look at a little further back in the field. The 42 of Tanner Tallarico, he just recently got back on the lead lap. He's up to 13th now. He's been throwing the car in deeper than anyone into these corners on the bottom side and making it stick.
Running here at Bristol, still a couple laps away from halfway. Picks in for that free pizza giveaway. Sorry, a little bit distracted here at Bristol, but we're here about 5 laps away next time by. Ashton Crowder is in the lead. Haven't even, just barely, I should say, over 30 minutes, so we could get this thing done in just over an hour. That'd be one heck of a race. These guys, only 4 or 5 cautions, I believe 4, so far in tonight's running, and they've all been really single-car incidents caused by guys getting loose. So that's, I mean, really the trend. I didn't even expect to see that. We see a loose setup at Bristol, but guys are usually able to handle it. I mean, something with the setup here, it's really tight, and I guess all of a sudden it snaps loose.
Yeah, I did run a few laps in practice earlier. She was very, very tight, but you know, like any small oval, little too much throttle coming off the corner, and you get that snap loose condition, which is, I think, is what we've been seeing with a few of these guys tonight.
Lap number 98, and the 98 gets the lead here on the lap, bearing his number, tries to get to the inside. These would be the only guys I've seen consistently just run side by side. Almost gets to him, but run off of turn number 4, gets Crowder back in the lead. Washington almost slides up into the rear quarter panel of Crowder. He ends up hitting the brake and getting off of him. They're going to come to halfway next time by. I tell you what, James, when they come by, we're going to give you a full race rundown. So Crowder still in the lead, side by side. It's subject to change because Washington has gotten, he's really the better driver I've seen on the bottom. It's just that top line is so dominant here at Bristol. Halfway this time by, so Ashton Crowder is in the lead. We're going to give you a little bit of a rundown. Washington in that second spot. Mitchell Reeves in third, doing what he has to do to make the chase. Ryan Hill moves into fourth. He got by Josh Boswell for that 5th spot. So Andrew Payne moves into the 6th spot. Colton Selleck, Gary Sexton in 8th, Buzz Moore in 9th, and Mark Jackson in the 10th spot.
Yeah, right now we have Tanner Tallarico up to 10th now in Shellington. Mark Jackson is now in 11th. Jack Watson 12th. Eric Stanford in 13th. And Brandon Cruz Monsivais rounds out the lead lap cars in 14th.
Drivers outside. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the 3 of Mark Jackson. He is staying loiter on the track. I don't know if he's got a mechanical problem with his car or if he's pulling the famous Mark Jackson fuel strategy. He might be thinking that far ahead, yes, fans. We got 96 laps to go, and he could be thinking, let these guys go by, because he might be banking on one more pit stop or something like that. I'm not reading his mind, but he was staying low there, letting a lot of drivers get by him, and I'm not sure what's going on with him. I'll try to pull him up, get some team communications to let you guys know.
You may never know what's going on in that little head of Mark Jackson, but yeah, just past halfway here at Bristol. I mean, we're on track to finish this thing in an hour, James. I've never seen a Bristol race, in a league race, so clean. I mean, we've had 4 cautions, but they're on about 40-lap green flag run here now.
Yeah, well, that just speaks to the quality of the drivers in this league. And as we say that, it's like contact between 98 and 27.
Crowder around, gets spun by David Washington, running for the lead. A little bit of net code, looks like. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I guess I'm seeing a couple of feet between the 2 cars.
Yeah,
when,
that's
the
what I'm
27
seeing,
kicks
too.
sideways. Yeah.
Unfortunate for Ashton Crowder. Somebody needs to get a hold of Ashton and tell him what happened, because you could fit a Mack truck between the space that Washington and Crowder had. But unfortunate, that's going to take Crowder out of this.
Wow.
Gonna go down actually for just a second. If James, you want to take this, I want to get Ashton Crowder's word on that, and also David Washington, see if they saw anything different.
Sure, absolutely. We've got all our lead lap cars here coming into pit. It looks like it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for everyone. Taking a look here, it looks like the 58 of William Moore may have missed his pit stall. He's several laps down at this point, and the race off pit road, David Washington comes out in front of Mitchell Reeves, Ryan A. Hill, Andrew Payne, and Josh Bonwell.
Thank you there, James.
Just talked to Ashton Crowder, actually. It looks like he said the car didn't get a meatball flag, so he's going to be okay here for the restart. I asked him, I told him that there was no contact between the two of them. It was just an issue with iRacing, and he said, well, I guess I'm going to have fun coming from the back.
Well, he's had the car to do it. I mean, as long as there's not too much damage on it now. Bristol's one of these places where you can get a car around with a little bit of damage. So we'll have to see how this plays out for Ashton. What a shame. I mean, they were having such a great battle. No fault of either of theirs, but hopefully it doesn't affect him too badly, and we can see some more of that battle shortly.
So Ashton Crowder getting his damage fixed here just past halfway here at Bristol. I'll tell you what, while we're sitting here, I'm going to go back down and see if I can grab a hold of the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves.
While we're waiting for your Gabe to grab Mitchell right now, I'll give you a current rundown on where we are. I got David Washington in the lead, Mitchell Reeves sitting second, Ryan A. Hill sits third, Andrew W. Payne in fourth, Josh Bonwell in fifth, Colton Selick in sixth, Gary Sexton in seventh, Tanner Tallarico in eighth, Buzz Moore up to ninth from his 18th starting position, and Jack Watts up to 10 from 17th. Good movement for both of those cars. Eric Stanford in the 24 is running 11th. Mark Jackson in the 3 is running 12th. Brandon Monsivais in 13th. Gerald Campbell in 14th. And Ashton Crowder now, with his damage fixed, is sitting 15th, the last car on the lead lap.
Going to try and get a hold of Mitchell next time by, because the cautions here at Bristol do go by pretty quickly. So unfortunate for Ashton Crowder. You said he's running in the 15th spot after that accident, but that's going to put Mitchell Reeves into the second spot here. Can he maybe get the lead here on the restart? He was actually hoping for Washington to get that, to claim the caution. But unfortunately, just kind of a racing deal, or an iRacing deal between those two drivers, Ashton Crowder and David Washington. They're going to come back to the restart here. It's a whole new top two. It's a whole new second driver, I should say. So a lead goes back to David Washington, and Mitchell Reeves takes off from the second spot. Can he have Ryan Hill maybe contend for that second spot? But here comes Andrew Payne in the 93, shot out of a cannon there. Goes from the fifth spot, now fourth, to the inside of Ryan Hill for the third spot.
Yeah, Ryan will take it with the momentum on the outside. Andrew settles down into fourth, and Colton Selick now runs in fifth.
Colton also under fire from Josh Bonwell in the number 56 machine. Bonwell locked in on points, so he has nothing to worry about. He can race as hard as he wants and try and get that victory, and I don't think anybody's going to try and snatch it away from David Washington. He's just been too good. And as I say that, I mean, Washington, I think he's kind of saving his stuff now that Crowder is in the back of the pack. Want to look at Crowder now. He's actually up now to the 11th spot. Rear damage there for the spoiler on the 27 machine, just past Jack Watts for the 11th spot. So he restarted in the 15th, and now up to 11th. So he's still got a little bit of speed in him, only 2.8, now 2.9 seconds back from David Washington.
Yeah, just looking at Ashton's lap time, right now he's running roughly the same speed as David Washington while running through traffic here. So it looks like that car is still plenty fast.
Yeah, I'm noticing the same exact thing, James. And he's got plenty of time to get back to the front.
That's it. 80 laps here at the Great Coliseum is a lot of time. It can move on you quickly, but with cautions and other events going on, still plenty of time for him to make forward progress in this race.
Crowder up into the top 10 now. He's got side-by-side racing in front of him. First caution, Tanner Talrico. He's up into the 8th spot. His name is Eric Stanford. They're going to be the next drivers to fall victim to the Yellow Bandit. They're in the 27 machine. He is a man on a mission, trying to get back up to the front spot. I say man. But the kid's got a lot of skills in that number 27 machine. He's fighting his way back up into the top 10 after being wrecked 5 laps ago.
What you you could say is that kid is driving like a man possessed right now.
Yeah. He's doing it. He just got ninth there from the 24 of Eric Stanford. He's going to move up into the ninth position. A drill spill teammate there in the 42 of Tanner Talrico. He's got a little bit of help, but Tanner's actually going to go to the top side there, coming off of turn number 2. That's going to move him, or try and move him up the racetrack. Only 0.4 of a second between your top two. So Mitch Reed trying to hang in there, but it's starting to gap out just a little bit. Still a big fight between Colton Selleck in the number 99 machine and the 56 Josh Bonwell there for that 5th spot. Bonwell seems to have a little bit better of a car, but he just cannot get the power down now. So I don't know, a little bit of damage there actually on the right front, so that may be hampering his progress.
Absolutely. Looking a little further back in the field, I don't know if Michael can get an eyeball on it, but Kyle Cameron, the 88 car, he's running around there. Still running very competitive lap times, but if you look at the front of that thing without a front nose on it, and that bumper hanging out there, it looks a lot like the modifies that I grew up watching up here in the Northeast. And typical short track damage right there.
Yeah, that's usually what it looks like. And what's fun is whenever you get about 3 or 4 guys who all look the same, it looks like a modified heat.
Oh, absolutely. And looking back here at the field, Ashton Crowder continues his march up through the field. He's up to 7th now, and putting pressure on Josh Bomwell right now for 6 as he tries to get a nose under him going into 3.
I can't believe what I just saw, James. Crowder, in the middle of traffic, just gained time on David Washington. He was at about 3, it wasn't much, it was about 3.172, and then it was 3.119. So it wasn't much, but, I mean, how fast is Crowder driving trying to get to this field?
He's going for all he's got right now, but keep in mind, Dave does have almost a second gap up front. He's got no immediate pressure, so why not back her down a little bit and save tires for a little later in the run? Dave's a crafty driver. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing right now.
Crowder now into Bonwell. Bonwell into the outside wall. Caution is out. That was weird for the 27 machine. Oh, looks like technical failure for the 56 machine. He went straight into the outside wall and then began glitching. So the 56 machine of Josh Bonwell out of tonight's race. Heavy damage.
And that's a shame. Josh's mom watches each and every one of these races, and I was pulling for him to have a good finish for her tonight, but it doesn't look like it's in the cards for him right now. And now we have all our leaders here are coming down to pit road, going for a regular service here. I expect 4 tires of fuel for all of these drivers. Watching here, it looks like David Washington's going to win the battle off pit road. He'll be followed by Mitchell Reeves, Ryan A. Hill, Andrew Payne, and Ashton Crowder now will be up in the 5th position. So from 15th to 5th in a matter of about, about 15 laps?
Yeah, doing a great job getting his way back up through the field. One driver, we wanted to talk to him a few laps ago, but now we got another caution. Mitchell Reeves in the 02, you got a copy?
You got you.
All right, you were running 3rd for the entire first half of this race, and then Ashton Crowder got taken out, but he's on the march up front still. You kind of hung there with David Washington for a few laps. He's got a better car than you, it looks like. Can you adapt your driving style a little bit to maybe make a run at it?
Yeah, I think, we're not running right on the edge right now. This race is really important to me. I'm right on the cusp of making it in points. We've had some guys kind of go out early in this race and some guys that didn't show up. That's really going to help me out. But if we're still here, running in 2nd or 3rd position with about 30 to go, we're really going to try to up the aggression level. Kind of got an idea of where he's going to run and how far I can kind of push it to stay with him. So we're just going to kind of get it to the end, nurse to the end a little bit longer, and we're going to try to give it a shot here in about 20 or 30 laps if we're there.
All right, Mitchell. Yeah, you said you're doing what you've had to make it into the chase. I mean, you just got to finish in front of people. That's the biggest thing. Finish in front of the other bubble drivers, and you're doing that because, I'm looking through the field. The nearest driver that is on the bubble is, I guess, maybe the 3 of Mark Jackson or Jeff T. Martin. I mean, you're doing one heck of a job.
Yeah, we're really trying to just almost be kind of conservative. You know, I've always loved Bristol, and you know, I'd like to win, but you know, first you got to get the championship, and right now it's just not worth the risk to take that chance. But once we know we're solidly in there, we want to get a win. You know, me and Washington. I've run it up to Washington before at Richmond, and I want that position really bad. So I want as much confidence as we can have going into the chase. So we're gonna see what happens.
All right, 1 to go signal for Mitchell Reeves and the rest of the field. Mitchell, good luck to you.
Southeast out.
Southeast Motorsports is... Sorry.
No, looking at our bubble situation, I'd say the car he's really got to worry about right now is Eric Stanford in that 24 car. He's sitting right now in about 9th position. Car looks pretty clean. I would say that's Mitchell's biggest concern at this point in time.
The Puppet Master, David Washington, takes off on the restart. That Chef Andy's number 98 machine takes off into turn number 1. Great restart, and this allows Ashton Crowder to catch up yet again. He's up now to the 5th spot. Got a little bit of damage, as I've noted, and still side-by-side there for that 2nd position between. And netcode again. What is going on? Another netcode incident. That was a huge gap between the 93 and the 27. What is going on?
Yeah, it looked like he could have driven another car in there, and oddly enough, all the netcode right now seems to be centered around that 27 car. I don't know if there's an internet issue or something going on.
Something going on the 27 or something. Yeah, and I didn't think about it. It seems to be centering around Ashton Crowder, but I mean, no fault to him, I guess, but something going on with the internet connections. Well, while we're sitting here, we're going to get this sorted out, try and find out what we can. We're going to go to commercial really quickly before the final 50 laps of tonight's 200-mile event, the Hex Cam 200, live on All Pro Broadcasting.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac, and never feel powerless.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Back here live at Bristol, working another caution here, but we're back underway. David Washington takes off. Going to turn number 1 with a about 3-car length lead. Now back to 2 as Mitchell Reeves gets a good run there on the entry. Ashton Crowder, now he started 4th, now up into 3rd. So the 27 machine working his way back up through the field, closing in on 50 laps to go. So the drill spill machine at 27 working, trying to get past Mitchell Reeves. Going to get it done here in the next few laps to where he can make a shot at the 98 of David Washington.
Real interesting to see. And we've got contact behind the leaders here. It looks like the 24 of Eric Stanford's around.
Looking for the 24 there. Looks like he's going to get it back underway. So we remain under green here at Bristol.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look. Looks like the 24 got a little loose. 17 of Gary Sexton collected him. Nothing he could do. He's already on the throttle there coming off the corner. But that 24 gets it around, and he'll Rube join here, stays on the lead lap. So that's one thing in his favor.
50 laps to go this time by Ashton Crowder. He moves to the top, and that's going to let Ryan Hill down to the bottom. Runs for Bell, so Crowder maintains that 3rd spot. Can he get past Mitchell Reeves soon? Because that window of opportunity for him to catch David Washington is getting smaller and smaller. And Ashton was faster before he ended up getting taken out. But with the rear damage, a loss of rear downforce, is he still able to contend with David Washington? That's going to be something to look for.
Looking here, it looks like a little bit of a disagreement here between Ashton at 27 and Ryan in the 55. Some arguments over the racing group I'm hearing over the radio here, but hey, that's racing in a short track. We call that a Tennessee temper.
Yeah, welcome to Bristol. You don't leave with friends.
But definitely not as many as you showed up with, that's for sure.
No. Hurt feelings, bad tempers, it's Bristol. 0.4 of a second the gap, now to 5.5, so about a tenth of a second growing between the 02 and the number 98 machine. Ashton Crowder, can he get there? It looks like he's kind of maintaining in that 3rd spot, so he may have lost a little bit of speed to try and catch Washington. Still hasn't worked his way past Mitchell Reeves, so Mitchell Reeves still in that 2nd spot. Looking back through the field, Gerald Campbell, want to talk about him, started shotgun on the field, or he was shotgun on the field. They're about 10 laps into the race. He's up into 8th now. Just got past Mark Jackson there for the 9th spot. And Mark Jackson also, you've got the 22nd, 20th, and 19th starters there running in the final few positions inside the top 10. And, Kyle Kamer, he's finally gotten the nose on that thing.
Yeah, I guess they're not going. Cars around here. Give me a moment here.
Yes, sir, fans.
42 at Tanner
Tallarico. Yeah.
Tallarico was racing with Gary Sexton, and the same thing that happened. Again, for the 3rd time tonight, a driver gets loose coming off of turn number 4 and just back up the racetrack. Single car incident, or I shouldn't say that. It looks like the 014 of Jeff T. Martin kind of got into him a little bit there trying to miss it, but still, 40 laps to go. Another caution here, and for the same reason as about 3 or 4 cautions today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking here. It looks like every one of our leaders is going to be taking a chance for fresh tires here. Tires are worth so much, particularly where she's starting to get loose off the corner. We'll see if anybody opts for 2 here with just 40 laps to go.
Washington comes into his pit stall, right sides go up. With the way it looks like, I thought that Crowder's team got around just a little bit faster. Sexton's actually going to try and take the lead. He will, so he takes 2 tires. Crowder goes to the 3rd spot. He gets around Mitchell Reeves. So a good pit stop from the drill spill crew as they move him up into 2nd of the drivers who have run up front so far tonight. And Andrew Payne and Gary Sexton. Looks like Sexton's going to stay out here along with Payne. I think Payne's actually going to come to pit road here.
Yeah, it looked like Payne missed the pit road entry the first time around. So, but real interesting. Gary Sexton taking 2 tires here. He's the first one to take a swing And let's see if that works out in his favor.
I have to wait and see. I'll tell you what, how about we talk to the driver of the number 17 machine, Gary Sexton, here before the restart. Gary Sexton, you got a copy?
10-4, Gabe. Yes, I do.
All right, the big cojones on the number 17 Toyota for IRAPs. What do you think you can do here on the restart?
Yeah, just from my experience in the past two, the truck race, Xfinity race, track positions, everything here, we only had 25 laps or so on those left sides, and that real long run we had before that had real good wear on the left side. So I figured if no one else did it, I was going to do it. Try to get that track position. I got to hold off some fast guys though, so it's gonna be tough. But get a bunch of cautions. Next thing you know, there's only 10 to go. I could be sitting in a good spot.
All right, Gary. Well, they're going to come to the restart here in a few seconds. You want to thank anybody before we let you go?
Yeah, let me thank my team, CCR. These guys helped me out. Tough break for my teammate Will here. And then, of course, tonight's race sponsor is HexCam. So I thank my buddy for sponsoring some of my cars. And, of course, my sponsor on the hood tonight, IRAPS, and Joe Johnson. If you guys need a paint scheme, he's the guy to go to. And if you can't do him, you can come check out Dirty Air Studios, and I'll do one for you.
All right. Well, that's Gary Sexton, the driver of the IRAPS and HexCam car. I want to talk about HexCam really quickly. They are the official sponsor of the HexCam 200 and Camo Apparel Company. So, Gary, good luck here on the restart.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Robert, I want to talk to you. What do you expect to see here on the restart?
I tell you what, Gabe and James, we got not many drivers up front that started far in the back, other than Gerald Campbell. You mentioned him before. He's not number 25. He's up today's position. These guys are going to race hard. Hopefully they race clean and we get a clean last, about 37 laps here. So far they've done a great job, but I tell you what, fans, buckle up, get ready. This is going to be a big show for you.
All right, it's going to be Gary Sexton coming to the line. What kind of restart is he going to get there on the bottom? He takes off to the lead. What's going to happen here? He's going to move to the top line, trying to get that top side to work in a favor for him. Ashton Crowder goes to the second spot. Washington has nowhere to go. Who's going to come out with the lead? Washington puts a little bit of a bumper to Gary Sexton. That outside lane is going to prevail for Washington, actually, as he's going to move into the second spot. Bumper tagging the number 17 to Gary Sexton as they come into turn number 3. Washington goes to the bottom. What's going to happen here? As he's going to go to the top, run still prevails for Sexton on 2 tires.
Wow, and this is real interesting. What Gary did there was real smart. He actually brought the car down a little bit on exit, pinched Washington off so he couldn't maintain any momentum on the bottom, and that's going to hurt him here as he falls back to third.
Sexton still in the lead. Now Crowder goes to the top side. Can he get it done? Looks like Sexton almost hit the wall there, but he's getting a good run here, and that's, I mean, this kind of stacking up the field is going to bring Mitchell Reeves into it. I don't really think he wants this to happen because I believe Gary Sexton, is he locked in? Can't remember.
I think he's somewhere up. He's up in the top 10 in points, so at this point, as long as he stays on the lead lap, he's more than safe to make it in.
Sexton is clinched. So I was wondering if that was going to throw off Mitchell Reeves, but Reeves still working for the third spot, actually, so that's going to stack up this field. 30 laps to go next time by. Sexton's still in the lead. He may be able to pull this off, James.
I tell you, I said at the beginning it might come down to some kind of strategy call and who had the guts to make it. Right now, it looks like it's working out real well for Gary Sexton in the 17.
Little bit of a bumper tag for Crowder as they went into turn number 1.
But it's Crowder gets outside of Gary
goes
now.
To the top side. That is the kiss of death for Gary Sexton. Oh, what a mistake there. He got loose coming off of turn number 2, moves to the top. He's going to try and maintain that second spot, but now Washington's going to try and make it now. Clean air, he doesn't have clean air, so now he's going to start falling through the field. Gary Sexton put up one heck of a fight there, closing in with 25 laps to go. And now we're going to have one heck of a finish. Can David Washington run down Ashton Crowder?
Yeah, and even with that all that damage on the 27 car, Ashton is still wicked fast right now.
Hey, don't hold your breath yet, fans. Don't hold your breath, Gabe and James, because I don't think Mitchell Reeves is done racing, and I definitely don't think the 55 Phantom Armament of Ryan A. Hill is done racing. He's got quite a bit of distance to make up. We have one more caution, and he's back in the game.
Gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen here. 25 laps to go this time by. Got 12 cars on the lead lap. Ashton Crowder leading them all. 4/10 of a second gap between the two. Now half a second. So Crowder doing what he needs to do to kind of just get a win. And yeah, I believe he's already got a win. I'm trying to think the situation for Crowder. It's a really confusing situation here. Trying to gather it all. He actually doesn't have a win, but I think he's outside the top 30. I think we've already established that.
Yeah, actually does have a win, but he's sitting 38th in points right now. So a large gap to make up to get up to 20th, over 100 points. So unfortunately, although he has a win, might come up with another one tonight. I think he'll fall short points-wise to make that top 20.
But he's actually got to make it to the top 30 in points to qualify. But it's still a huge gap, about 50 points that he's got to make up on drivers who are already in tonight's race. So that's going to be the might not be beneficial to Ashton Crowder. But still, bragging rights. If you can win the rest of the year, show that you could have won the championship, kind of scare him for next year.
Absolutely. And now Ashton's out to 8/10 of a second lead. He's stretching it. Mitchell Reeves about another 8/10 behind David Washington in third as we come to 20 laps to go.
20 laps to go. Ashton Crowder is your leader, pulling away from David Washington. What a comeback story for Ashton Crowder. Got spun out by Washington racing for the lead. A little bit of a netcode situation between the two, but now a second gap and growing between them. He had to fight from 15th with damage, and now up into the lead. So what a story for Ashton Crowder. Looking through the field, want to update you while they're still on track. Ryan Hill in fourth, Colton Selleck in the number 99 machine in the fifth spot. Gary Sexton still holding on to sixth with those old tires. A lot of damage though on the nose of the number 17, so he's gotten into the wall a few times. Kyle Kamer up to seventh. The driver who ran without the nose for about 100 laps of this race is now fighting for the sixth spot. So what a turnaround for the number 88 machine. Eighth is Aaron Stanford racing with Mark Jackson in the 014, the lap down car of Jeff T. Martin, who is 23 laps down. And 10th is actually Andrew Payne, just riding there in the back after contact with Ashton Crowder.
Yeah, let's talk for a second about Kyle Camper and that round. I mean, he was a lap down, no nose on the car. Pretty much could have almost left him for dead, and now he's got a nose under Gary Sexton going into free, looking for that sixth position.
Closing in on 10 laps to go. Yeah, trying to get that sixth position. He's actually going to use the wall, try and shoot down. He uses it to his advantage. Can he dive it down into turn number 3 to try and get that sixth spot? He's actually catching Selleck while they're doing this. So one heck of a job. He gets hit the side of the number 17. Can he hang on to it? 88 spins it. Can he hang on to it?
Oh,
sliding.
man.
He wrecked at the start-finish line and didn't stop until he reached turn 2.
No, I tell you, he wrecked me at the racetrack right there and never touched a thing. So car's still in one piece. He'll lose a few positions there, but you live to fight another day.
Don't look now, but the gap is coming down, James, between Crowder and Washington. It was about 1.1 seconds about. Now it's to 1 flat. Now to 9/10 of a second. The 54 Brandon Cruz Matsavai spins there on the bottom side of the racetrack, but a long run car for David Washington. He's coming quickly. 10 laps to go last time by, now 9. Can he get it done in the number 98 machine? See with the gap here, down
he
another
knocks
10.
another 10 and a half on that lap.
Oh,
so.
David Washington's coming. Don't count him out of this one yet, folks.
I'll tell you, this is working up to be one heck of a finish. Looks like he's going to get there. I don't know if he'll have enough time to get around, but if I know anything about Dave Washington, he's going to give it his best shot right here. The gap is down to 0.6 of a second that time by.
Crowder needs to start mirror driving. That top line is not working. He needs to get it to the bottom and take Washington's line away from him. Closing in. 6 laps to go. Next time by, it'll be 5 to go. Then after that, he's caught him. by over half a second in the matter of 3 laps. Here comes David Washington trying to work the bottom lane of the racetrack. This is going to be one heck of a fight for the finish. 5 laps to go next time by. He dives it down to the bottom. Side by side with the lead. Crowder gets the run coming off the corner. It's going to be Crowder is going to lead him down into turn number 3. One heck of a fight. Now is the equalizer. Washington's better on the bottom. 5 laps to go, but Crowder has that outside lane momentum to work with.
Wow, and as that's happening, they're coming up lap traffic here. This may become a factor in the finish of this race as we come to 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go. The 10 car of Nick Reynolds is the first car to come up. They got to be getting on the radio saying, get out of the way, we're racing for the win. They might catch him there on the front straightaway. If Nick Reynolds is smart, he's going to pull low. He's not going to do it. Washington actually gets loose, so they're going to maybe go 3 wide here with the lap car of the 10 car of Nick Reynolds.
2 laps to go coming this time around. Washington has a nose under Crowder. Crowder once again gets the runoff on the high side, but I expect Dave to stuff it in real deep here into one, and they're door to door as they're coming off.
1 mile to go, now less than that. Here comes David Washington to the inside. He dives it down. Can they get the run coming off the corner? They both wreck at the start-finish line. 1 lap to go. Who's going to get the win? Mitchell Reeves. Where's Mitchell Reeves? Crowder, he's going to come by the line for the win. But Reeves, he goes into second. Coming to the line this time by Ashton Crowder is going to win here at Bristol. Will the win stand up? Gonna go back to the replay of that finish. They were racing for the win. Coming off of turn number 4, David Washington got the run. Crowder tried to pinch him, and then they just kind of wrecked coming to the start-finish line to take the white flag. Can you imagine what the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves saw there? And Washington actually collected Reeves as they came by the start-finish line, or as they came into turn 1. He did not hold the brake. I think that's what Reeves was a little bit mad about. But Crowder gets the win. Mitchell Reeves in second. Oh, I think we're just going to have to take a commercial break here really quickly and let the admin sort out who won and the finishing order of tonight's race. We'll be right back here on All Pro Broadcasting. One heck of a race here at Bristol for the Hex Cam 200. Join us in just a moment for the closing ceremonies. Back here live at Bristol for the conclusion of the Hex Cam 200. the official clothing apparel company of tonight's race here at Bristol. One heck of a finish. The top two wrecked coming to the line to collect the white flag, and Ashton Crowder was able to drive away. Hard racing between the two. Mitchell Reeves ends up in the second spot. Going to go through your field really quickly before we send Robert down to pit road to talk with Gary Sexton, the third place driver. Reeves finished in second, Gary Sexton in third. Jackson comes home in fourth, so a good finish for him. Eric Stanford in fifth, Kyle Kamer in sixth, Colton Selleck in seventh, Andrew Payne in eighth, David Washington finishes one lap down in ninth, and Ryan Hill finishes in the 10th spot. The 54, Brandon Monsivice in 11th, William E. Moore, Gerald Campbell, Jeff T. Martin, Jason Caldwell in the 15th position. Jeremy Crandall, fortunately not the night he wanted to try and make the chase here at Bristol, finishes in 16th. Tanner Talrico, Buzz Moore, Jack Watts, Josh Bonwell round out your top 20. Nick Reynolds, George Hendricks, William Roberts, William Davis, and Curtis Young round out your 25 car field that took the green flag. Going to sit down to pit road. Robert McFarland caught up with its driver number 17, Gary Sexton.
How you guys doing?
Robert, you got a copy? Well, I'll tell you what, James, you take the interview.
Sure, I'm running down here as quick as I can. I guess Robert's having some difficulty with his radio here, but just caught up with Gary Sexton, the driver of the number 17 car. Gary came up with a third place finish tonight. A bit of a wild finish. Why don't you take us through what you saw out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I walked into that one. I hate to see the leaders, take each other out or anything like that happen, to get into a third place finish. But at the same time, you can't complain when you finish in the top three and last race before the chase. I know I'm locked in, so I'm ready to take it to Talladega, which is one of my better tracks, and hopefully come out on top one of these chase races. It's going to be tough. These guys in the top shelf are really good. Everybody's, man, from the Xfinity Series to the top shelf, it's incredible, the competition level, how hard it is. And I'm sure I got some guys mad at me for holding them up there on that restart, but I mean, I'm in a position where I got to make things happen, and I felt like the two tires was a good strategy, and I didn't fall off. I fell off just enough to where I could squeak out with a third place finish when those guys got into each other. So you never know what's going to happen in these races. I hate to see that happen, but overall, yeah, it was a relatively uneventful race. Started heating up there towards the end, guys getting into each other, but that's Bristol. It's expected.
Oh yeah, I was telling Gabe before, we call that the Tennessee temper. But at any rate, a great finish for you. Who do you have to thank for your third place finish tonight?
Yeah, I'll start by thanking the sponsor of the race tonight, HexCam. They sponsor a bunch of races for me. You should go check them out if you're looking for some new camouflage. That they use a special hexagon pattern that's it's kind of found in nature all around. It's really good stuff. They have really good comparisons of what just put up pictures of guys standing in the woods with the shirts on, and they see you see if you can find them. And it takes me a while. It takes me a good 10 minutes to find the guy standing there. So check them out, hexcam.net. I'd like to thank my sponsor on my car, iWraps. Joe Johnson, he puts out some really awesome paint schemes for not only my team, but everyone else out there that's looking for paint schemes. And then I'd like to thank my team, CCR, all those guys, Will Davis, Joe Johnson, and now we just acquired Blake Griffith, trying to help him out, get him settled down so he can make a run at the truck chase. And everybody that tunes in and watches, all you guys up in the booth that come up there last minute and make this stuff happen. It's fun series to be a part of, and I can't ask for more fun things to do on Wednesday and Thursday night.
That's great, Gary. Well, listen, you gone off and celebrate with your crew, and we'll see you here in the chase. See what happens for you. Best of luck to you in the chase.
Yeah, 10-4. Thanks, guys.
All right, Gabe, throw it back up to you. I think somebody's caught up with Mitchell Reeves.
Yes, sir. I finally got it with Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell, that was a great race there. We were talking about your race all night long, especially the early part. You were just hanging around there in third position. We knew you had something for the end there. I think if there was no contact on that last lap, you could have maybe got a win. Tell us about your race, Mitchell.
Well, to come into the last race of the regular season, we were the way the points were out, we were 1 point to the good. I was very, very worried about it, and I was really mad at myself that I would, wait for Bristol to decide my fate in the Domino's TYJ countdown or the chase. But we pulled it out. Really happy with the second place. I kind of had an idea. We had a top 5 car, but man, David Washington and Ashton Crowder, I couldn't do anything with them. Once the restart got going there, it was kind of just okay. Let's maintain. And when Gary Sexton put 2 tires on there and kind of jumbled us up, I figured we had a chance, but I burned him up. But definitely got to give a huge shout out to Ashton Crowder for pulling out the win. He was in an incident earlier and came back to win the thing as my motor just blew up, and it was really cool to see him kind of go back through the field. But I'm about 95% sure we're going to be in the chase, and we're going to go for a championship. That's for dang sure.
I tell you what, I have zero doubt that you will win this championship because you got what it takes. When you put your mind to something, Mitchell, I don't know you very well, but I do know enough of you that you make it happen. And you got some stiff competition. I'm super excited that you're stepping up here and you're going to be in the chase. And I agree with you. We don't have the final numbers yet. We'll get those in the next 24 hours, if not tonight. But we want to make sure we have them accurate before we post them. Great run tonight. Who would you like to thank for this great second-place finish, Mitchell?
Got to give a huge shout-out to first and foremost Southeast Motorsports. Michael Jeans really helped me out tonight, just kind of giving me lap times, tell me what the other guys were running, and just working with me and Nick Reynolds actually tonight, just trying to get us going in the right direction. Another shout-out really just to the drivers tonight in general. I really didn't expect us to have some of the longer runs we did, and it really just shows kind of the composure and the just the kind of mindset guys had tonight. It's just to make some laps and have some fun with it. And for it to be Bristol, I don't think it could have ended in any more of a dramatic finish. I slammed David Washington there, but got second place. Can't be too bad with that. But also got to thank Domino's TYJ Racing. I've been on and off this whole season, but we're truly going to try to be committed to this championship. And Overtop Paints and Designs, John Hedrick has made every single paint scheme I've ever raced, and that probably will never change. And I can't thank him guys enough, and I'm ready to load this thing up and go to Talladega.
I tell you what, we are expecting some unbelievable paint jobs from John Hendrick and Over the Top Paints. We're also expecting some great things from Southeast Motorsports. To be honest with you, you guys kind of came into our league after the first few races, and I can honestly say all of you guys are class act drivers. You don't always have the best luck, like Nick had some bad luck tonight, but I tell you what, you work as a team, you're committed, and that's what makes a team and a driver who's going to win this championship. I don't think anybody's going to come in here and win it without some team support. You absolutely have it, Mitchell, and who knows, maybe one of your teammates will beat you in the championship. Thanks so much, Mitchell. Appreciate all you do, and we'll definitely talk to you over the weekend.
Thank you. Southeast without.
All right, Gabe, have you caught up with our winner?
Standing down here in victory lane, I got Ashton Crowder. Crowder jumps up. The car's destroyed, but still walk away with second victory of the year. You don't have the points to make the chase, Ashton, but you had one heck of a comeback tonight.
Oh, yeehaw, buddy. I tell you what. We got the net code problems or the prediction code, and we got the old turn ski into the turn 4 wall, which, kind of hindered our progress a little bit there. But I think we were like 14th or so, and we just hit that Daryl Maltip, dig button. We're coming up through the field. We were passing cars left and right. I think I put myself in the wall a few times. Definitely, on coming to one lap to go, that hurt. But we worked our way back up through the field. Had a little bit of damage along the way, but I tell you, man. We got the job done. I tell you, we're here down in the Gatorade victory lane, and we're celebrating.
All right, Boomhauer, who are you, and what have you done with Ashton?
Man, I don't know, but
but yeah, you come down here to Tennessee, and didn't expect to see anything like that. 2 cars who were the class of the field. Nobody could touch you, and then you had that incident with David Washington, whether it was netcode or prediction or whatever. Then to come back from 15th to be in 10th 2 laps later with a damaged car. I mean, you had a little bit of rear damage there that had to be hurting the downforce. But I've got to be honest, that was one heck of a drive.
Man, really, I just got to thank JGR for screwing up my rear suspension, you know, getting me the drive off that we needed. You know, JGR, they put together these cars, and I tell you, you know, even if you have damage or if you miss pit road and, you know, give up 10 seconds, they're still going to get you to the front. And that's what happened tonight, man. Had that JGR power in the old Ford, Toyota, Chevy. And, yeah, the dynamic track was pretty good, and it really just helped out. Burnt off the rear tires and the right front tire, but still got to victory lane.
All right, Ashton, congratulations. You want to thank anybody from the drill spill?
Oh, yeah, man. Let's look who we got on our car. We got... okay.
Well, I like to first say that the teammate that you wrecked, I think you might want to thank him.
Yeah, I want to thank Andrew Payne, man. He took it like a champ. I think he hit the wall pretty hard. Thankfully, he had a Hans device. But I want to thank Mogan Sampit. We want to thank Sick Kipple, Mac Horvo, Dale Maltip, Beth Maviano, Colton Salick. That one's gonna be serious here. You know, he's down there with all the hurricanes right now. He's having to actually evacuate tomorrow. Wish him the best of luck. But I want to thank Crowder Designs for putting together this beautiful car, man. Ashton Crowder worked really hard on this thing, and you know, we got it done. This was originally supposed to be ran, I think, like Indy in a series we don't talk about that runs on Monday nights. But we ran it here. Got it to victory lane, and poor thing, Wogan Stampit, or whatever I said, he took a beating tonight, but he's on Ben X Racing, and he's trying to win the Speed Championship.
All right, Ash, well, congratulations here at Bristol, and good luck to you in every league that you race in, and these friends, I guess you call them.
Hell yeah, buddy.
All right, James, well, I'm going to throw it up to you for final thoughts.
Well, I mean, this is your typical Bristol short track race. You know, a lot of action, lot of contact, which always comes along with it, and a bit of that old Tennessee temper showing up. But some great side-by-side racing between the 27, 98 for most of this race. Great finish from Mitchell Reeves in a clutch situation, needing a great finish to clinch his playoff spot. He does what he needs to do. I'm excited. I can't wait to move on and get this chase rolling.
All right, well, that does it here for us at Bristol. Join us next week. The Xfinity cars will be at Talladega. It'll be the start, I believe, of the 2017 chase. But next week, of course, the 2 weeks from now, will be the start of the chase for the Top Shelf Cup Series, what you've just seen. We're going to get the points updated for you, and we'll be back 2 weeks from now with the official chase field for 2017. I want to thank James Ross for jumping in the booth, Robert McFarland for his officiating duties, Judd Danielson, Michael D'Amico for All Pro Broadcast. I want to thank all of you for watching us tonight. This has been the Hex Camp 200, live from Bristol. Good night.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the They do it for the They do it for the USA. Ooh yeah. This is the big boys club. Nobody does it quite the way a CT does. Clean in, clean out. The boys are the best, and they'll be coming for your shells in the deck. So if you see a fallen man coming with guns, you better reconsider whose side you're on. These boys are ghosts, team of the Reaper, and they'll be more than happy to deliver you back to your maker. They don't do it for the money.